Hey there guys, Pika here. I'm actually doing something a little bit different. Just gonna have just a little bit of a video in the background as I want to just talk about something real fast. So the new Kirby game looks actually pretty good. The graphics looks amazing and it just looks outright beautiful. It's really weird too, considering the fact that Kirby was 3D before. Like, it was like pseudo 3D in crystal shards when that first came out, but now it's like full-blown 3D. Like, it's just going nuts. Like, they don't even care anymore. And Kirby's like, he has like a gun now he's just go pew pew pew, and then he can actually just do something else. It's actually gonna be pretty cool to see what Kirby in the Forgotten Land is gonna look like, because I don't know, it's weird, because I'm a big Kirby fan, but not like a big Kirby fan. I just like Kirby for what it is, and I enjoyed my time with Star Allies. I will end up admitting that I didn't really like Star Allies that much. Something about it was just missing. And it had nothing to do with the load times. No, trust me, that was the least of my nitpick issues. It didn't really feel like a Kirby game. Well, I mean, it probably doesn't really make any sense, because what makes a Kirby game anyways? I guess it was just too simplistic. I didn't really enjoy the ally mechanic all that much. It was okay. There was a lot of you kind of needed 4 characters. Obviously it was a game that was more so catered to having 4-player co-op, which is nice, but other than that, when the game first came out, it didn't really have much except for the 3 areas. Like, you had one area which was the debated credits, and then you had another area which was also a debated thing too, and then you had the final area which was just essentially Milky Way from Kirby Superstar. So I don't really know. I don't really get that, and it didn't really appeal to me all that much. I mean, don't get me wrong, when they introduced like past characters from Crystal Shards or from Squeak Squad or any of the other Kirby series, it was like a little bit of a nice little anniversary, which is a bit ironic considering Forgotten City is coming out on the 30th anniversary. One day we will have anniversary games for the other franchises in Nintendo. I don't really know what they're gonna do, but hey, I mean, that'd be nice if they decide to do something like that, but I'm not really gonna be banking on that. That ain't gonna happen, and I'm not gonna be hoping for it. But what am I looking forward to this Kirby game? For one, I don't really know how it controls. That's kind of what I'm interested in. I'm interested to think, how does it control? Because it looks good. It looks like that it probably controls pretty fine. And I'm kind of wondering if they're going to limit Kirby's flight, considering the fact that, in 64, they had to limit his flight, because if they didn't, it would have been broken and you would have been able to fly everywhere. In 64, what they did was that they limit Kirby's flight. So after he flies for 10 seconds, I think. I don't really know. I don't really know how long. All I know is that he would get exhausted and fatigued and just drop like a rock, and he would just die if you're in a bottomless pit. You can't really utilize it to get from place to place like in 2D handheld Kirby games. In fact, it's impossible. Or 2D Kirby games in general, because Star Allies and Return to Dreamland, they're on consoles. You know how it be. But so I'm wondering if they're gonna actually limit his flight. I don't think they will, mainly because I don't really see the point, considering the fact that they could probably just have like enemies be able to prevent you from flying, or they limit his flight height. But I don't really know, considering like most of the I don't know how many elevated areas there'll be in it. I have to kind of like rewatch the trailer, but I don't know how many elevated areas there are going to be. But hell, who knows? They might end up having bosses having like platforming segments. I also don't know if there is co-op in the game. I'm more so interested if there's online co-op, because apparently Bandana D is in it, so I'm wondering if we can play with our friends online. Come on, Nintendo, you're already making us play a bunch of other games online. Don't make this thing local. We kind of moved past that. Like, I don't mind not having it or, you know, having it local or whatever, but I'm just saying, come on, I just want to have it online so I have a bit of a reason to be able to play it with somebody so I can be able to use them just like I use Goomy from Kirby Dream Land 3. That's all I want to do. I just want to be able to play as a Goomy and play as Bandana D with my spears, throwing a bunch of spears at people. I don't really look up any more of the information of the games because all I do is just look at trailer, looks beautiful, and then just come up with thoughts. I'm actually going to be doing that a little bit more often now. So if you guys like these kind of things, I'm calling them PikaThoughts because you gotta keep the branding, man. You gotta just keep the branding, because if you don't keep the branding, then it's just gonna be bad. But anyways, if you guys like these ways of this, let me know in the comments down below, or just let me know on Twitter. I don't really mind all that much, or my Twitch page. It doesn't really matter. But overall, whatever Kirby Forgotten Land has to offer, at first when we first saw the initial trailer, when it was introduced in one of the Nintendo Directs, I didn't really know what to really think about it. We were excited that it was going to be the first transitional 3D actual Kirby game, instead of it being 2D, as has been for quite a bit, for like 30 years now. I mean, it's not 30 yet, but it might as well be a whole total of 30 years, excluding the side games, which makes them go a little bit 3D, but not by much. It's still top down. It's not full-on 3D going for there. But this is like the official full-on 3D Kirby game that we are going to sink our teeth into. And it's weird, because I feel that when Breath of the Wild 2's trailer come out, even though it was already innovative when they made Zelda into an open world with Breath of the Wild 1, I'm curious as to how much of Breath of the Wild 2's changes we'll have. Because if Breath of the Wild 2's changes is a little bit more drastic than 1, I'm probably going to end up saying that this year for Nintendo probably will be, well, for Nintendo games specifically, I know other consoles do this too, is going to be like big changes for certain series, I want to say. Because, you know, I know Pokemon Legends is not a mainstream Pokemon game, but hell, to be perfectly honest, I don't know, is it a mainstream? It's probably not. It's a Pokemon game. The point is, it's Pokemon. Who cares? I'm more so interested to see how this Pokemon game, like Pokemon Legends, will do. Like how that's, because if that would be good, like say if that's great and they decide to do this instead of the traditional top down whatever types of Pokemon games, then hey, you know what? You don't even know that, like that would be great. It's like, to be fair, Pokemon like a Monster Hunter style game would be fine. I mean, at that point you might as well just make a Pokemon Rangers game instead. But I don't really know. Like, so yeah, if they go for this, and you know, Kirby is gonna do fine. Like, Kirby games have always been good. Even if Star Allies to me wasn't really as great, it was still a fine game on its own merits. It just didn't appeal to, it didn't really give me what I wanted or was expecting, I should say. I shouldn't say what I wanted, because I never want anything out of any video game unless I play it and then I'm like wanting more or wanting less, or you know, whatever. I don't really want anything from a video game. Developers can do whatever they want to a certain extent. I'm not going to say they can do whatever, because if I say that, people will probably interpret it as, oh, you like them doing this. No, that's dumb. Anyways, I'm ranting on, I guess. It's not really Pika rants. Can't call it Pika rants, because I'm not talking about that other series that I'll probably rant about. But anyways, okay, so before I end the video, I will end up asking this. So I got like PikaThoughts, probably Pika rants, and Pika views and all that other stuff. What other things would you guys like me to do? Because as of this point, I wouldn't mind doing anything. So yeah, that's it. I've been Pika, and I'll be seeing you guys next time for when Pokemon Legends comes out. And I'll probably get my initial thoughts on that game when that officially arrives on January 28th, a Friday. So that should be fun. So yeah, anyways, catch you guys next time for the next electrifying video. See yas!